everyone. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Sean Keane, everyone. Mr. Sean Keane.
Thank you. Keep it going for Andrew, everybody. Amazing American accent. Andrew and my friend Tim was visiting from Sydney. We took him to the Outback Steakhouse 3 times in a week, and we made him do an American accent the entire time. Apparently one of their seafood items is from like a toxic body of water in Australia. Like it just under the bridge catch. All right, let's just get started. I recently got out of a relationship. Technically, I was forcibly removed from a relationship. That's how you have to get me out of the relationship. You get like an eviction notice. You got to get the sheriff to come. I just go limp, drag me out. Also, going limp too much, that will get you forcibly removed from a relationship. That's a good tip. We broke up right before Valentine's Day, which was a little bit sad, but I hadn't actually gotten a gift yet, so it was a little bit like my heart was broken, but my to-do list was empty, so that was kind of okay. I never know what to get for Valentine's Day. I know what I'm not ever going to get. That's a diamond ring from K Jewelers, right? I don't like their company. I don't like their advertising. There's one commercial that bothers me. It's a Christmas-themed ad for K Jewelers. Guy's celebrating Christmas with his hearing-impaired girlfriend. And they're sitting in front of the tree, and he says, "I know I don't speak much sign language." And he's waving one hand in the air like, "This is where the sign language would have gone if I had learned it." And then he hands her a present, and it's a diamond engagement ring. And she's so happy, she smiles, and he signs, "I love you." And then they kiss, because every kiss begins with K, right? Because of the fucking alphabet, yeah. And we're all supposed to be blown away by how romantic this is. I can't get into the romance, because all I'm thinking is, what was their relationship like up to this point? Because it was serious enough that he would propose marriage on Christmas, but not so serious he'd learned more than 3 words of sign language leading up to that. Just getting by for months, so I'm like, let's order a pizza. And just like catch her eye and be like, right? Because every fuck ends in K too. They don't tell you that in the commercial. They definitely do not. It's good to be here. I like, do you guys like going to food trucks? I love food trucks. There's one in particular I am fascinated by. I've never actually eaten there. It's an Ethiopian-Irish fusion food truck. It's over on 2nd and Folsom, combining the culinary traditions of Ethiopia and Ireland together. Like, for me, that's famine. Centuries of famine. I don't even know what happens when you go to the Ethiopian-Irish food truck. You give them $7 and they send you to a different food truck. That's like 5 miles away. The UN's like parachuting in crepes. And then Bono from U2 writes a song about your terrible lunch. It's awful. It's a terrible song. He's rapping. It's just bad news. I was when a comic guy used to coach a kids swim team. I coached a team called the Forest Hills Beavers over in the East Bay. And our slogan for this team was, "I've got beaver fever." That was our slogan, that was our cheer. The big banner above the pool that said that. It was also on the shirt that I had to wear every single day of the summer. So you have to prove to the kids that you're the adult in charge, and prove to the parents you're not just showing up to look at some little kids swim on a Saturday morning. Sometimes I would forget I was wearing my "I've Got Beaver Fever" t-shirt. I'd go out to a bar, and that was not popular among people. Because this was not a Beaver Fever t-shirt from the store. You can't buy those. This is one of the team moms made at her house. So to the casual observer, it looked like a shirt that I had made at my house. My Beaver Fever was so out of control, I had to buy t-shirt making supplies and iron-on letters to celebrate it. And I think it would have been okay if I covered for it, but I never did. Someone would say, "Nice shirt," and I go, "Oh, geez, you don't understand. I work with children. That's what this means. I work with little kids. What's going on?" I used to live in Berkeley. Is there any Mexicans in Berkeley? Anybody?
Yeah.
Berkeley's such a political town as long as your political issue is slowing down traffic. That's all people care about. They have forgotten about the U.S. being in Afghanistan. They are protesting speed bumps every day of the week. You move to Berkeley, that's what you do. You get a stop sign at the end of your house. Then you upgrade that to a stoplight. Then you get a big piece of concrete in the middle of the road. And then you bring in a troll that used to live in a fairy tale kingdom. It'll make people answer riddles. They want to go straight through on a Saturday. Berkeley was also the first town that had those countdown pedestrian lights, that you know exactly how many seconds you had to cross the street. And that wasn't enough for Berkeley. They also had a different bird call every 5 seconds in case a sight-impaired person had crossed 15 other streets but got to that one intersection and it was a different bird from a different endangered rainforest, and the speaker was on a big pole that was from a new growth organic forest, not an endangered one. It was made by a company that hadn't invested in Israel but also wasn't anti-Israel. As long as no one enjoys himself at any moment, everyone in Berkeley can live to be 150 years old. So when they moved him to San Francisco, they realized that it wasn't safe anymore because drivers can see the numbers too. And that's way more dangerous when drivers are just staring at a countdown instead of pedestrians or other cars. Also, people in San Francisco have played enough video games. You play a lot of video games and you see a giant 5, 4, 3 in there. In your head, all you hear is checkpoint. And without even thinking about it, you stomp on the accelerator because you want that time bonus, the new tires or the missiles. If you hit a pedestrian, fucking extra life, right? Not a big deal. I don't even know why they're worried about people running red lights in Berkeley anyway, because if you're driving a hybrid vegetable oil-powered vehicle and you step on the accelerator, the car might go forward, but maybe the hemp transmission will just fall out in the middle of the road, the car will shudder to a halt, then a hippie carrying its didgeridoo will say, "Shoulda rode a bike." Yeah. Probably shoulda rode a bike. That's a bad idea. Alright. That was good. Well, that was good. I'll tell you one more story, then I'll get out of here. It's great to be here. A lot of drag show here. I used to live in the Castro when I first moved to San Francisco, and I was really excited about the Castro Halloween party. I decided I was a visitor to the Castro. I needed to come correct on Halloween. So I took my friend's suggestion, and I was like, I'll wear a funny costume. Here was my funny costume. I wore a flesh-colored bodysuit and a bear hat, and I was Fuzzy Wuzzy. Because Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? I thought it was hilarious. What was hilarious is that I had not realized that was the sluttiest possible costume I could have worn to the Castro Halloween party. I had inadvertently picked up on the two biggest fetishes of my new neighborhood, which were hairlessness and bears. And that was it. I had dressed as a sex bear, accidentally. And at first I was like, wow, I'm getting all this attention. These people must really love wordplay. That must be what's going on. I just love the attention. People are high-fiving me, buying drinks in bars. It was so great. I didn't realize that I was a sex bear until someone came up and said, "Hey, little bear, I think it's time to hibernate." And I was so surprised that I tried to debate him scientifically. I'm like, no, it's a moderate climate here in Santa. A bear wouldn't sleep through the winter. And then I got like a little more antsy, and that's extra cute when a sex bear is dancing around, like shaking his fist and being real coy. And it was a delightful but harrowing night. And when I got home, I was like, all right, next year, that was fun, but I can't dress as a sex bear again. So I just borrowed my roommate's cow costume. I thought that's a neutral Halloween costume. It's not a sexual fetish. Unfortunately, he's 6'4", I'm 5'8", and the udders that were right here when he wore the cow costume were right here on me. Thought I was a barnyard animal. I was a furry with 4 dicks. That's what I was. It's like, trick or treat, everybody! All right, thank you so much, Red Devil. I'm Sean Keane. Thanks a lot.